This SSD is probably the best portable SSD you can buy. I'm not sure if you've heard of this company before, but this is a TeamGroup PD1000 SSD. It's not just packing some very impressive specs with it, it's actually very, very affordable. I don't know about you, but TeamGroup wasn't like a very familiar company that I was familiar with, but after seeing this SSD, I think everyone should know about this company because, sorry to spoil the review for you, but it is. So this SSD comes in two sizes. It comes in 512 gigabytes as well as 1 terabyte in size. It is very small, as you can see over here. It just kind of fits between my fingers and it's kind of just like an enclosure of an M.2 drive. So as you can see, this is like an SSK, just an M.2 drive enclosure, and it is very, very similar in size. Inside here we have a Samsung 950 Pro M.2 drive, NVMe drive, and then this is just all included in there. In terms of design, it is very, very slick. Okay, it is metal body. It's very heavy, like when you feel it, it's just very, very heavy. There is like a copper kind of plating on both sides of them, USB port on over there, and then just like a kind of shiny metal bluish kind of color. Looks very, very smart, elegant, and cool. I wish the design gave some performance points, but it kind of doesn't need it when we get to the performance. Just 1 second. So one of the main things that you want to know about a portable SSD is how fast, are the transfer speeds, and is it reliable, what's the speeds like? So let's talk about that now. This speeds over here is advertised at up to 1000 megabytes per second read and write speeds. So doing some tests over here on my laptop using the Apple MacBook 2019 on Thunderbolt 3 ports. By the way, this SSD comes with two cables, USB-C to USB-C and USB-C to USB-A cable, so you can use it on both, on a normal USB port or a USB-C port. So plugging the USB-C in onto my Thunderbolt port and running the Blackmagic speed test, I'm getting read speeds at up to 880 megabytes per second and write speeds at 928 megabytes per second. I'm also going to list some of the other like benchmarks on the screen over here of some other drives, as well as some other benchmarking tools to do that. The only odd one out over here was the Anamorphous disk mark, which kind of got like lower speeds. I don't know why. Is it testing it in a different way? But then Autodisk benchmark got even higher scores than the Blackmagic one. So very impressive speeds. So what I wanted to also test is if you have like big files. Let's say you are a creator on the road and you've got loads of footage that you've already just dumped on your hard drive on the computer, or SSD on your computer drive. You've got loads of files that are just big files, and if you just transfer them onto this SSD, how fast would it take? So I took like a 13.86 gigabyte files, or a folder that contained 13.86 gigabytes files, and then just transferred it, and just using a timer to test how fast does it do it. Because sometimes what happens is that an SSD might be very fast at first, but then quickly starts pulling down the speed because it just can't, either overheats or just not configured well or not made well, so the speeds actually go down. This one over here did it in 15 seconds, and when you divide the gigabytes by 15 seconds, it does it around 924 megabytes per second, which is very impressive. Just for a comparison, this is about 10 times faster than your usual SanDisk Extreme Pro SD card that I'm using on these camera recorders or cameras that I'm recording with, and maybe you're a creator yourself and you're using these SD cards, then this is about 10 times faster than those SD cards. As impressive as these speed benchmarks are, this is not even the best thing about this SSD. This SSD over here is rated IP68 waterproof and dust resistant, or dust proof actually. So it's not water resistant, it is waterproof. So even without having a cover on this disk, you can drop this SSD into the water under 1 meter of water, leave it there for 60 minutes, pull it out, shake the water off, plug it back in your hard drive on your computer, and off you go. Now, when did you find an SSD like that before? It's also dust proof, so you can leave it on a sandstorm. You know, if you're editing on a sandstorm and you thought, oh shoot, I'll just run quickly inside, but left your SSD outside. After the sandstorm is over, you can still find it, dig it out, plug it back in there, and you're good to go. You can drive all with this with your car. It's up to 1.6 tons of pressure resistant. So if you want to check out how we're going to test if this is actually true, stay till the next video where we're actually going to test this out. Very impressive specs. Now, I know what you are thinking. The last thing you're thinking, surely this is going to cost me an arm or a leg or a kidney or whatever is left out of your body, but it doesn't. Now let's look at some of the price comparisons with some of the similar drives. So this one over here costs $149 for the 1 terabyte version. If you go for the Samsung T7, that's going to cost you $179. Next up, you've probably heard of SanDisk. SanDisk Extreme Pro drives, which are rugged, but they're not actually waterproof as well as this one. They're rated water resistant. And the SanDisk drives cost $200. As you can see, this little guy here is not only just beating the benchmarks or the performance of other drives, it's also very, very affordable compared to other ones. Obviously, the 512 gigabyte version, which I have over here, is a little bit cheaper. So if you want to opt for something smaller or a bit cheaper than $149, then you can go for this one. I'm very impressed with this little SSD. And I think this is probably the perfect drive for any creator on the road, because it is small, it's durable, waterproof, water resistant. It just gives you another level of the safety of your mind, or just a peace of mind. Whatever you're gonna put on this drive is gonna be safe, and you can get this. Even if, I don't know, you drop it in the water, it is going to be fine. So this is what I would think is the best bang for buck, but not just for that, but best, almost best, you know, performance, what you can get out of an external SSD for editing and for storing your files. So if you're a creator and you need to edit on the road, on the go, this is fast enough, durable enough, water resistant enough to do all of that. If you want to check this out, the link for this is in the description. So guys, let me know if you have heard of this SSD or this company before. Comment below, I'd love to know from you. And were you impressed what this guy can do? Well, I surely was. I hope you were. So, you know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, it actually makes a difference. And we're gonna see you in the next one. See you soon. This is ridiculous, I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, oh there we go, went in all right.